Hello, hockey fans. It's Wednesday, April the 9th, and we're down to the final 9 days of the regular season. And we have five games for this Wednesday, including, of course, the usual TNT doubleheader. It's the penultimate TNT doubleheader of the regular season. There's this Wednesday, and then there's next Wednesday. Next Wednesday being the penultimate day of the regular season as a whole. But but today begins the final 9 days of the season, and quite a few of these games have pretty much every game has some playoff relevancy. Teams are trying to get positioning, while other teams are trying to get in. Three teams can actually clinch today, though one of them is not playing. One of them is not playing, and two of them, well, I'll tell you all about it. First off, we have to talk about, again, the Washington Capitals. Now, last night, the Capitals were off, but Carolina's regulation shutout loss to the Sabres gave the Capitals the Metropolitan Division title. So they are the number one seed in that Metropolitan Division portion of the playoff bracket. So, yeah, they got home ice throughout the first two rounds, at least, of the playoffs. They could add another round to that list. And, they're not playing tonight. But if the Maple Leafs lose in regulation to the Tampa Bay Lightning, then Washington will be the number one seed in the entire Eastern Conference. That's home ice throughout three rounds. The two rounds in the Metro and the conference final. And of course, they'll still have a chance. They're still competing for the President's Trophy. Though I don't know if they won it. I mean, history has proven that the Capitals and the President's Trophy don't exactly mix. But if the Maple Leafs lose in regulation, Washington will be number one in the East. The New Jersey Devils also not playing tonight, and they had a chance to clinch last night. All they needed to do was get 1 point, get to overtime. But the Bruins, they had other plans. They wanted to play spoiler, and they really demolished the Devils. So the Devils are still 1 point away from clinching. But they can get it tonight. But they can get it tonight via this Rangers Flyers game. If the Rangers lose, or if they win via shootout, the Devils are in. So basically, I think the shootout win has to do with the regulation wins and the roll column, because I think the best the Rangers can do is actually draw even in both tiebreakers. So the Devils will actually need this game to go to a shootout. They'll actually need this game to go to a shootout to clinch a playoff spot. Doesn't matter what happens in shootout. Even if the Rangers win, it doesn't affect the regulation wins or the roll column, regulation overtime wins column. So if the Rangers lose, or if the Rangers game against the Flyers goes to a shootout, then the Devils are in for the second time in 3 years. And yeah, the Rangers and Flyers game is kind of special because it's on TNT, but they'll have Sam Rosen, the longtime voice of the New York Rangers. He's going to be calling this game with John Davidson. Of course, they were calling Ranger games together for about 20 years, and they're going to be back together one more time to call this game because Sam Rosen, after 40 years of doing this, he's retiring. One of my favorite announcers, and it's going to be a joy to hear him on call for this game between the Rangers and Flyers. But of course, Devils fans will be watching. As it's take two for the Oilers, as they're looking to clinch. Of course, they had a chance to clinch on Monday, and their scenario completely didn't go through. Not only did they lose that Monday, but the Flames won. So as a result, the Oilers have the same scenario that they had on Monday. The Oilers need to win, and the Flames have to lose in regulation. The Flames are playing the Ducks, so that's going to be interesting. Elsewhere, the Blues, it's take two for them as well. The Blues are looking to clinch because, and their scenario didn't pan out well, because not only did the Flames win, the Blues that Monday, that was the day that the Blues winning streak came to an end in Winnipeg. So they have the same scenario as Monday too. The Blues need to win in regulation, and the Flames have to lose in regulation in order for the Blues to get in. Here's the funny thing about that. See that right there, that fourth game listed? The Blues and the Oilers, they're playing each other. Yup. They are playing against each other, which means one of them's going to win. which means one of them's obviously going to win, which means the eyes of both fan bases are going to be on that Calgary game. And if Calgary actually does lose that game in regulation, the winner is in, pretty much. Well, the Blues have to win in regulation. The Oilers don't have to. But it's going to be very, very interesting. And that game, Blues-Oilers, that's the second half of that TNT doubleheader. This is going to be a very crazy Wednesday night in the National Hockey League.